I don't know if some of you have seen my Pankaj doing the pulse reading, might have seen, But when he touched the people, he was so soft. He would put his hands in a exactly correct manner. He will put the pressure of the fingers in a exactly right manner, like we are going to teach you. But his being was so soft that people felt safe in his space. It's very important. Because pulse can tell you a lot of things. Even the private things. I want to tell you my example, personal example. This was like in 1989 or 90. Huge, very famous movie star came to our clinic. And she was not married. And I checked the pulse, and Babaji, of course, showed us how to find the DNC pulse. So I saw the pulse and I felt she had a miscarriage in the past. And now she's not married. So in my, because I'm just learning. I'm still in the process of learning. This was very early days. And in my my ego of boasting what I know from the pulse to her, I told her that you've done miscarriage, you've gone through abortion. And she came with her mother, who also is a movie star. So she said, no, it's not true. I said, okay, sorry, I got it wrong. But, and then after half an hour, she goes away. She says, can I have your number? So if I need any question, I can talk to you. She calls me, she says, yes, it is true, but you told me in front of your mom, my mom. That's why I said no.
Yeah, sure.
And I realized that when you know something, doesn't mean there's super good or ego. You have to be very soft and you have to ask, I know something about you. Can I tell this in front of your mom? You have to be very soft. You have to always be so soft that they feel safe in your hands. And of course, I lost her as a client because she was upset with this thing, although I told her the right thing from the pulse, but I lost her because she didn't feel safe in my hand, in my presence. So very important. I will only give my stories because I've learned it's a real evolution of learning. And we all will learn, because that's the life. Life teaches. We are never perfect. We have to keep learning and learning and learning. So we had one doctor who was extremely good. But whenever she took the pulse, she would say, like this, grab. The patient goes like this. Either you can see going like this or inside. And then they are shut. The door is closed from the heart. So you have to be very careful, you have to be very soft. And they must feel like this one, safe like a mother in your presence. Even if you are a man. Even if you are a man. Like my husband. A lot of people say, we felt like we are in the presence of a mother. That is the energy you need to create. That should be soft. So discipline. This is another thing. Discipline is the most important, because if you yourself are not disciplined in your life, people will not trust you. Or even if you give 100 lectures of become disciplined, they will know that you are not disciplined. From your words. I give you example of the python who can know without talking, without anything, my feelings. Imagine human being, they know everything. They know more unspoken than spoken words. From your face, from your expressions. So this path is a very difficult path. My teacher said this is a very difficult path. Because you have to be self-disciplined. You have to follow healthy lifestyle, no alcohol, no smoking. All the healthy things, no drug addiction. Make sure your ama is under control. Your own doshas are, at control, normal, balanced. Doshas have to be balanced. Ama should be never ever there. Dosha we need it, but ama we don't need it. So, yeah, I mean, we need dosha because to run our body we need it. They are like a fuel. They are burning. I think the air conditioner is too strong. Looks like everybody is freezing. Yeah. I probably have little calorie burning, so I'm okay. But so maybe we can reduce the temperature. Somebody?
Go try
Huh? If you want to. So Vinay is doing. Thank you. So daily practice, very important. Meditation, chanting, exercise. Somebody was, when I entered the room, they said, "Oh my God, how do you tell us the secret of your anti-aging?" There is no secret. This is the secret. Everyday meditation, everyday chanting, everyday exercise. My son knows that one day I worked till like 11, 12 on Saturday. I was so exhausted. I woke up in the morning and I thought, I don't want to do the exercise. I mean, I deserve to rest today. I said, if I will let myself, this excuse that I worked yesterday, if I will allow that to win over me, one time it will always win over me.
Yeah.
So finally I said, okay, I start, warm up, and then my tiredness was gone, so I finished it. But every time you have a thought that I have a good reason to not to be disciplined, remember, you allow that thought one time to win over you, it will win over you forever without your knowledge. I mean, you will not know consciously, but of course it will always win over. So remember that discipline is a practice, and sometimes you can decide not to be disciplined, but then this is a conscious choice which you take once in a while, like I do it with Krishna. We go out and I do a lot of junk food eating as well. And somebody is seeing me and they say, "Oh, you are eating junk food?" I say, "Yes, this is my junk food eating day." And next day is fasting.
That's how it's done.
So that is what we have to do and complete the relationship. Forgive and forget, Mama. You have to do it for yourself every day if there are something which is hurting you. Because trust me, if there is something bothering, especially in the relationship, your friends, your family, your children, your colleagues, there you are emotionally connected. Because when you are working 8-10 hours a day. So even if it is a professional relationship, the truth is there is emotions involved. Because it's like half of the time we spend with them. So everywhere, wherever there is hurt, there is upset, you have to learn how to complete it. Like me and Pankaj, we always did that continuously. You have to learn how to complete it. How you can express your upset and hurt in an unemotional manner. You have to express it in a very unemotional manner, because if you express in an emotional manner, what happens? What happens?
There's a block of resistance, you'll get that.
They will block their heart, closed. You can't enter and you can't express what you felt. So you have to be unemotional. At the same time, you have to tell how you felt with that behavior of them. So we will teach that also. It will be part of the training. But this is what you need to learn to do. Otherwise, when you are doing pulse reading, it will come. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, that guy was not good. He did not do the right thing for me. Oh, my husband was not right. Oh, my son, was yelling at me. Teenagers do that. They regret. It's okay. Just accept it. So, otherwise you can't focus. So these things are very important. Keep your energy always elevated and positive. Very important. Why? Because they are coming to take energy from you.
Oh, yes.
They are wanting to have an energy in their life. Only by your presence, if you can energize their life, imagine how many they will surrender to you. So your energy has to be really high. And for that you have to be free from the toxins. keep yourself clean, nourish yourself all the time on a daily basis, making sure whatever is lacking as a nourishment in your body, you are doing it on a daily basis. Healthy breakfast. We have the breakfast recipe which we do for everybody knows, so I'm not repeating that, but do that every day. Do the fasting of mung and vegetable soup maybe 5-7 days a month if you feel you have toxins. Panchakarma once in 1.5 years. Keep yourself clean and energetic. Very important. This is a house of soul. You have to keep it strong and you have to keep it clean. That's it. Done. Have your own personal experience. If you are healed by something, for example, I had a serious illness when I was 10 years of age. I thought I'm going to die. But I didn't, of course, because of the enema given by my uncle who was a Vaidya. So because of that, I'm like super excited about detox. All the time. I tell everybody, you must do the detox. You must. And I'm so enthusiastic. People really believe in me because I have my personal experience, And I do once in every 1.5-2 years my own detox to keep myself at least, I don't want, my goal is not to look younger, but that's like a byproduct, outcome. But I just want to make sure I don't have cholesterol, no sugar, no fatty liver. I'm almost 60 years now and I don't want to fall sick, you see. That's why. And I want to work like that all the time. So, if I have experience, I talk something, they will say, yes, it will touch their heart. You don't have to act or do a drama to convince them. Because no matter how much drama you do, honesty, there is no substitute to honesty. Nothing can substitute integrity and honesty. Drama, you will be caught at some point, for sure. And they will not buy from you. And you will say, I explained so much, they are not buying from me. They don't understand. It's not true because you don't yourself believe in that. If you don't believe, how you can convince others? Not possible. So first you have your own experience, Whoever did this great presentation, thank you. It is completely transformed. Heidi is not here, but I want to say it is a far better presentation than what we did earlier. Please convey my thanks to her, wherever she is, personally. This is seva, very important, very important. So people come and they always give us money, they take money for our services. No, they take services, mixed up. They give money and take services. So seva is, and Ayurveda says that you have to earn good money. Okay? We'll talk about it. You have to earn good money to become a good Vaidya. Because if the practitioner himself is struggling, even for the basic things in life, that is not creating that flourishing feeling in the people when they meet you. So that is one part, but it doesn't mean you have to be selfless. You have to give, if they are giving you 100 rupees, you have to minimum give them 200 rupees worth things in the form of energy, home remedy, diet, everything where they don't spend money. They spend money to consult you and they spend money for the herbs or any detox program if you feel they need. But beyond that, there are 5 other things which you can do without taking money, which will make them feel that you have given them 200% more than what they paid for. Minimum. Pankaj always said give 10 times more, okay? But people say, 10 times, how can I do? It's possible. But at least start with the 200%. At least. Because graduation, when you want to do, you have to first go class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So have a goal of giving 100% more than what they pay. So they should feel, not you. They should feel 200% more received than what they paid for. That should be the first goal. Then we go in the next one. And serve everybody who comes. Serve everybody who comes, whether they have money or no money. find a way so that they can pay for it. I give you one example of my dear husband, Pankaj. He was never, if somebody came in India, there was this prostitute, I remember, many years ago. This was in 1997 or no, the Malad clinic was already 2000. Yeah, in the year 2000, in the main Malad clinic, we were sitting, and the prostitute comes with HIV and AIDS. So AIDS is a very serious situation. HIV positive, okay. AIDS means she is going to die in few months. And she said that I have no money, I have no clients because I am old and I have AIDS. I can't pay you. So he said, okay, now I am going to give you the herbs at a discounted price, but do you think there are more people similar like yours? She says, yeah, there are many prostitutes in the lane of Kamatipura. In Bombay there is a lane where the movie came right now, but Kamatipura, where all the prostitutes were living for last 200 years. It's a land for that. So there are many such and they are dying. So okay, so me and Pankaj said, we would give a free herbs to everybody if there is an NGO who will be working with us, because we want to make sure that it's not misused. That's why. So NGO has to certify that, and then we will collect a donation of people who will pay for the herbs. So we had some people who paid for the herbs, and then we helped so many of these women, and they improved from AIDS. They reversed to HIV, which means they lived for more than 10 years, 20 years. Around 10% even became negative. Not everybody, but 10% can become negative. That is the statistics we could find. And the one who had children with HIV, they became negative. So selfless service is the one thing. Yeah. Next one. Thank you. Okay. Next one, Prasad. Sorry. So this is the last one, and then we go into practical training. So this is our fundamental of healing, and that is what we look in the pulse. Any of you have done any Dr. Vasant Lad's training anywhere, or read a book on pulse reading by Dr. Vasant Lad? No. Fine. You have, right? So if you look at his book, he talks about how you can find 5 vata, 5 types of pitta, 5 types of this, how you can find what is the level of those dhatus, etc. from the pulse. But the difference that we have in our lineage of pulse reading is that we look behind the scene. What we do? Behind the scene. So front scene is that you are having this. This is the front, like we have air conditioner, is the front scene, for example. But behind the scene there is a machine which is helping to create that air conditioning, right? Which we don't see anymore. So same thing in the body. We have this symptoms. We have health, ill health, whatever. And behind the scene there is something happening which is creating it, which is responsible for that. That is what we need to find in the pulse. Because if you know what's happening behind the scene and if you fix it, Pankaj always said, if there is one thing happening in the front, then there is one thing pushing it, the second thing pushing it, the third thing pushing the second thing, and the fourth thing pushing the third thing, and finally the fifth one, which was produced 20 years ago, which can be emotional trauma or wrong food or whatever, is pushing everything together. So you have to work on all the things. Remove the first one, then the second one, then the third one, and the fourth. But so first you need to find from the pulse what is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, right? So I'm going to explain very quickly the process of illness, so you can focus on those things, So process of illness, it begins from a low digestion, low agni. So even the good food can then convert into toxicity of ama or dosha. So doshas we know we need in the body because they are the engine, they are the things which keep us going. But if it is imbalanced, we have problem. If it is less problem, if more, there is problem. But ama we don't need because it is a toxicity. It is a coming from half digested mucus. And for your information, modern science has already found ama, and it is now considered, I've seen the slides of these amyloid toxins. Amyloid toxins in the pancreas and in the brain they found, and they look exactly like ama, like how it is described, frothy, sticky, stinky, all this what they have described is exactly matching with the ama symptoms. So that we don't need it because that's creating a problem. They say it is causing Alzheimer, diabetes, blood pressure, all these things, plaque, that's what they say. And they say we don't know how to take care of it. They are now also found it in the spine region causing spinal injuries. We know it for years and years. So that's what it is. So that is, and then slowly it is always produced in the stomach because that's the main gate from where you are exposed and you get everything inside. There are only two ways you are exposed to external things, three ways rather. One is the emotions of everybody else happening around, the breathing and the food. But food is the major one. And if you don't digest very well, even Agni is responsible for processing the emotions. So if the Agni is good, not good, it will not process anything you take inside in a right manner. It will produce this toxic mucus of ama. So we need this good Agni. Then because of this dosha ama produced in the stomach, at some point they start moving all over the body. That they start moving everywhere. And then they will find a weak spot. Like there is this notorious guy who is creating troubles but doesn't want to be seen. Will find a corner first to settle somewhere, and then moment get a chance start creating trouble. Similar to that, ama will find a spot, somebody in the bone, sometimes in the brain, sometimes in the arteries, sometimes in the pancreas. Wherever it goes, it will produce a trouble. Blockages. So excessive ama dosha produces blockages. Because of the blockages, the tissue is not getting enough nourishment. The processes are blocked. The enzymes are not reaching the place they are supposed to reach and work something. And that will create a finally degeneration. Or excessive vata. For example, if there is too much vata, which is very rare, nowadays there is more blockage problems, 80%, 20% is excessive vata. It will dry up everything and everything will become atrophic. The bones will become osteoporosis, osteoarthritis. You will find in the report osteophyte. Osteophyte means chipping of the bones inside your joints, literally. Like you have chipping of the nails, same thing happening inside. Now imagine there is a joint and there is chipping. As you move, it will create a pain like this immediately. So that is what is happening when finally. So what we need to find in the pulse, go next one please. We need to find this 5 things in the pulse. First, balance and imbalance of dosha. Ama and Agni, very important because that is the starting point of any illness. And how old it is, when it started, how old the Agni is not working, these things we have to find in the pulse. Third is Vata movement. Why? Because according to Ayurveda, Vata, the air, air is the energy which pushes everything everywhere. I'm trying to minimize Ayurvedic terms because, you have to get it. You have to get it in your heart. Okay? So, Vata pushes everything inside. It pushes things, in the bones, spine, there is a spinal problem. It pushes everything up in the head, then there is a problem. So, if it is pushing heat up in the head, you get anger, anxiety, and also migraines connected with the heat. If it's pushing, Vata is pushing ama in the spinal region, you will get a spondylosis, slip disc, herniated disc. So all of these things you can find when you know which dosha are high, if there is ama or not, and Vata is pushing in which region. You can tell precisely where is the situation, where is the problem. You can even tell them it is in the right leg arthritis or the left leg arthritis by just following the movement of vata. So that is something you will learn today roughly, and tomorrow you will practice, right? This is the 3 things we are going to learn today, Dr. Emma?
Yes.
Right. And the last 2 things I am just introducing, but we will do it next time, which is ojas and dhatu. So tissues have to be very, very pure and always nourished, right? So we also find out, because all this drama, we saw it in the previous slide, these 3 steps are actually creating problem with the tissues. Degeneration, or tissues are getting polluted, what you call, not pure but polluted. So ama settled in the tissue of pancreas will make it polluted by, or ama or kapha, both, or pitta, 3 mucuses settled in the pancreas will make them polluted by kapha energy, and because of that block, right? So we have to also find out if the tissues are pure, they are polluted by excessive heat. So when they are polluted by excessive heat, then you get skin problem, you get many other situations which we will discuss. And beige is actually literally kapha energy pushed into the tissues and settled into the tissues. So polluting the tissues by kapha energy. So all the diabetes, they have beige. And depending the level of beige, you can actually tell them exactly how much is your blood sugar. Precisely you can say, see Dr. Tushar, he is already saying that, and I know a lot of people are admiring him all the time. But Dr. Hemant, of course, all the doctors, they do it from our team, really. And this is what we will learn the next time. First, these 3 you master, like we do, high school and the graduation. And then PhD, MD, or post-graduation, whatever you call it. So now we are learning primary. Then once you master, we go in the secondary. So in the tissue, we also look at whether there is excessive tissues, so fibroid and this you can find, or if there is a degeneration of tissues. There is a degeneration, that means some organs are literally degenerated, and which one you can find precisely from the pulse. And the last one is srotas. There are these channels, physical channels, which are very important for doing everything in the body. Like Chinese is the meridian. We don't talk about meridian. That's not the channel in Ayurveda. Srotas is actually literally the physical channel, circulatory channel, respiratory channel, where it's like a pipeline, where everything is happening. It has to be clean and clear. Otherwise, it can block the process. So if there is any channel blocked, and which one is blocked, and how to then, based on which one is blocked, you can plan precisely how to remove or how to unblock it. So these are the 5 things we always look at, and then as a byproduct we are able to tell them what is happening now, yes, but the main purpose of the pulse reading is to find out this drama behind the scene and make your plan as a physician, as a healer, how to fix it. What are the tools you will use? That's what we have to do. Okay, so now we will start the practical pulse reading, and for that you have to first sit in the power position. Who is going to teach, show power position?
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Hemant. Let's create, how do you, so put your feet flat on the ground, okay, flat on the ground. I can also show you like this, like this. If you come in the clinic, I don't know if anybody has noticed, I am only sitting like this all the time. Pankaj always sit like this all the time. I don't sit like this. I don't even sit like this also. Only like this. That's it. Flat. As soon as you put your feet flat on the ground, you want to show it over there? Could you see what I was talking about? So you do it yourself, I will guide you. So first you put your feet flat on the ground. I mean, you can keep the shoes on, and sit, keep your feet at the level of your shoulder, not like this, you're closing it. Even this is good, even slightly more, yeah, perfect. How do you feel? Do you feel more alert in that position? Because you have to remain alert and focused when you do the cross-legged. So first, sit like this. Second is, if other person is wearing glasses, you request them to remove glasses, because our teachers say that it changes the magnetic field. So that's why we just follow. I don't know any scientific reason. Everybody is asking, why do you do it? I say, no, we just follow. That's it. So remove the glasses. Then the opposite person hand, you have to not like this, not flat on the table. Okay, so request them to keep, we are doing the practical pulse reading, so request them to keep the hand flat on the table. Always go right hand to right hand. Why? We can do also on the left side, but first when you are learning, we don't want to have a lot of variant, like not so many complications. Let's do one way so that you can learn it faster. So right to right, your right hand to other person, right hand, locate the radial bone. Do you know the radial bone is the bone? Do you want to just feel your bone? Yeah. So make sure that you feel the bone when you are touching that person. Because under the bone, you